Hello, welcome to Celtic's training ground up at Lennoxtown. The sun is blazing down here, it's fantastic. I can feel myself frying. That's my strawberry blonde complexion. This is dangerous here, so this will be a quick video. We started at the Celtic press conference ahead of Saturday's game against Falkirk. Interesting stuff as always. Headline news: when James Forrest been signed up on a new one-year deal yesterday. Today, extensions for Liam Scales and Luke McCowan, and that's the main crux of the today's presser, and also a response to Callum McGregor's comments yesterday. Interesting. But first of all, the extensions to Scales and McCowan. Listen, some punters, familiarity beats contempt sometimes. I'm not exactly being a massively overwhelming positive response. What did you make of it? No brainers, or how Martin described it?
I would describe James Forrest's contract as a no-brainer. 34-year-old winger, one club man. We all know the story of James Forrest. I think he's still contributing. For me, that was a no-brainer. Perhaps surprised that Liam Scales getting a new contract. Still had 2 years to run his original one. I think only signed a new deal a couple of years ago as well. So that was a bit of an eyebrow raiser. Luke McCowan as well. I think he was entering the final 12 months of his contract this year, unless I'm mistaken. So again, perhaps a bit of a surprise, because we still don't know who's going to be the new manager next season, and obviously that was one of the questions that was put to Martin, is essentially who's making these decisions. So Martin was very cute with his answers, as he always is, Mick, and he said that he would of course be having a say and in the decision making for the current squad and beyond. So clearly Martin is suggested to the board that these guys need to be tied down, and we were talking actually just before the presser, Mick, about actually having a core group of players, and clearly the club and Martin are aligned in the fact that, you know, they might not be nailed on starters next season, because whoever comes in will probably want their own players anyway, but these guys are still going to be useful to have in and around the squad. So I think that's the decision that's been made, and it gives these guys clarity as well. But I mean, obviously it's not going to go down brilliantly with every fan, but you know, for Martin and the club, that's obviously makes sense.
Listen, I think Martin was asked about the broadcast as well, that about making decisions before a new manager comes in, and he said, listen, no guy coming in is going to be upset at having guys like Liam Scales and Luke McCowan and James Forrest around to be mad, to kind of be mad at that kind of situation. And listen, I mean especially Liam Scales, he's a bit of stick sometimes from punters. You know, a really reliable, solid defender. He's an international defender with Republic of Ireland. I think he's a bit of a raw deal at times. I think he's in a fairly strong season, and there's been some players that haven't had good seasons. Luke McCowan, I think, is like a player I think should play more often. To be honest with you, I think he's pretty effective. He's been playing out of position quite a lot of time, coming on to games at time as well. I think he's a good guy to have in the squad, so I think it makes a bit of sense. It wasn't a pressing issue. They were under contract for about a year or two anyway, so I wouldn't get knickers in a twist about it. I think there is going to be a massive rebuild in the summer, and this is a very, very small area that's been addressed now and that can put to the side. James Forrest, I think, like you say, he's helped. You know, an experienced campaigner, serial winner, guy who can contribute less and less these days, but he can still contribute. But he's going to be here for the new regime, and he can help smooth the wheels, I think.
For me, I think it's just important to have guys that are part of the fabric of the club, like James Forrest, Liam Scales, Luke McCowan, Callum McGregor. Guys that, you know, for this transition, who have been here, they're experienced.
Well, the next manager walk in will know who James Forrest is. Let's not go there. Other big news: Arthur Johnson should be back in the squad against Falkirk. Big boost for Celtic having him around again.
Big boost, absolutely. Yeah, Martin was talking up his quality. He's not actually played under Martin Neil since he's come back. So I think he's been out since October. So that will be a massive boost for Celtic. The thing is, how much is he going to be able to contribute? Because I mean, he's not going to start to.
He's an all-action kind of guy, isn't he? So he's not going to be holding back.
In the back of his mind, I know it'll be funny though, but after having two hamstring injuries this season, is that going to be back in his mind? Is he really what?
Well, he came back
with the World Cup.
He came back and then get himself injured quite quickly after coming back.
So it's only natural that he would have that in the back of his mind. So I don't know. I think you know, I keep making the point that I think the Rangers game could be a date where Martin would like the crux of his squad to be back fit and firing. I talk about Kelechi and Atro and that. I think he needs to be pushing for a start for the Rangers game. Alistair Johnson might fall into that category. So I think it's the more the merrier. And if Alistair Johnson can come back and can compete for a spot and make a difference, I think it's an absolutely gigantic boost for Celtic, because he's such a quality player. Yeah,
it's another key player at a big time of the season. Obviously the games now are getting to the business end, but we'll be all over it. But we better get ourselves inside, because this is getting a bit dangerous out here. I can feel my nose starting to fry up, so we better call it a day. But you can catch up on all the news, listen to some really juicy stuff in the kind of daily press conference part of it as well with you guys. to read tonight at 10:30 online. But in the meantime, we'll keep you posted. Thanks for watching.